This is a story from the Bible about a young boy named David who faced a giant named Goliath. David was the youngest of 8 brothers. His job was to take care of sheep in the fields, which meant he spent most of his time outside, watching the sheep eat grass and making sure they were safe. While David looked after the sheep, some of his older brothers were away with the Israelite army, getting ready to fight against the Philistines. The Philistines were strong and often fought against God's people. One day, David's father told him to take food to his brothers at the battlefield. When David got there, his brothers didn't treat him kindly. They accused him of only coming to watch the battle for fun and said he should be watching the sheep instead. But David knew he was just doing what his father had asked, so he ignored their mean words. While he was there, David saw something strange. A giant man, over 9 feet tall, stepped out from the Philistine army. He wore a big helmet, heavy armor, and carried huge weapons. His name was Goliath. Every day for 40 days, Goliath had been coming out and challenging the Israelites to send one man to fight him. But no one in the Israelite army was brave enough to face him, not even the king. David couldn't believe that no one wanted to fight Goliath. He knew that God was with the Israelites and that they didn't need be afraid. So David went to the king and said, "I'll fight him." The king looked at David and thought he was too young and too small. But since no one else was willing to fight, the king agreed to let David try. He gave David armor and a sword, but it didn't fit well and was too heavy. David decided to fight Goliath in his regular clothes, just like he wore when watching the sheep. Before going to battle, David went to a stream and picked up 5 smooth stones. He carried them in his pouch and brought his slingshot with him. Then he walked out to meet Goliath. When Goliath saw David, he laughed. He expected a strong warrior, not a small boy. He said, "Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks? I'll give your body to the birds and wild animals." But David wasn't afraid. He remembered how, with God's help, he had fought off lions and bears while protecting his sheep. David said to Goliath, "You come at me with a sword, but I come at you in the name of the Lord Almighty." David wanted Goliath to know that God is more powerful than any weapon or giant. Then David took one of his stones, placed it in his slingshot, and swung it toward Goliath. The stone hit Goliath right in the middle of his forehead. It sank deep into his skin, and Goliath fell face down to the ground. Everyone watching was shocked. David ran over, picked up Goliath's own sword, and used it to kill him. Then David cut off Goliath's head and carried it back to Jerusalem. When the Philistine army saw that their strongest warrior was dead, they were terrified. They ran away as fast as they could. The Israelite soldiers cheered and chased after them. That day, God helped the Israelites win the battle. Even though David was just a boy and not a soldier, God used him in a big way. David trusted God completely and believed that God would help him. And he did.